It has been called a winged tiger. But the ferocious winged tiger is a gentle mother. The chicks are a week old already, but their story began 5 weeks ago in February when the female great horned owl laid 2 eggs. It was still winter in this northern area. Temperatures were cold and there was snow on the ground. Owls are the first birds to nest each year, but they're not the only early nesters. These red-tailed hawks hatched only a few weeks later in very early spring. Red-tailed hawks often share the same woodlands with great horned owls. The hawks hunt by day, the owls by night. Herons are migratory birds, but they return and nest early too. They nest in colonies. Since herons, hawks, and owls are predators, they need a longer nest period than other birds to grow and develop skills to hunt for themselves. We'll follow the growth of these owl chicks in their 17-meter high nest. It's a warm day. The panting owlet watches its woodland neighbors. A fox squirrel. A cardinal. They spot their mother coming, but she seems frightened by something. She watches intently from a nearby tree as a man peers at her babies. Sam isn't harming them. He just wants to photograph the young owls. But he'd better watch out. She might attack to protect her young. He's writing a story about owls so other people can learn about them too. Since owls are not very active during the day, it is usually their calls during the night that make us aware of their presence. They do most of their hunting at night, too. The parents are kept busy now with their growing young demanding more food. Owls catch many kinds of prey, including mice, rats, and rabbits. As excellent hunters, they've earned their title of winged tigers. Well able to protect themselves, the owls have few natural enemies. Most deaths or injuries come from pesticides in their food, by flying into objects, or by careless people shooting them. Though federally protected by law, many owls are still killed or injured by gunshot. This one has a damaged wing and cannot fly. The veterinarian will try to fix it. The other wing seems to be okay, and it gives us a chance to see the owl's unique feathers. As a predator, the owl must fly silently to catch prey. These special soft-fringed edges on each feather break up the air currents and muffle the sound of its flapping wings. Even though it can't fly, this owl is still difficult to handle. Sharp talons, which it normally uses to catch food, are dangerous weapons as the owl tries to protect itself. By taping the talons closed, the veterinarian and his assistants won't be injured while they try to help the owl. Its wing is not badly injured. They are taping it so the owl cannot move it. Perhaps then it will heal and the owl will fly again. Unlike Dr. Jim, not all veterinarians will doctor wild birds or are qualified to. It is a very specialized field. Often funds and facilities are not available to take care of the recuperating owls. These vet students are learning wild animal care under Dr. Jim's instruction. But caring for the owl has just started. The students must now learn the special diet requirements of the captive owl to keep it healthy until it is healed and ready for release. After several weeks, this owl recovered fully and was returned to the wild. But many injured owls don't recover. This one's wing is permanently damaged from a rifle shot, so it will never fly normally or hunt for itself. The naturalist has a special Fish and Wildlife Service permit to keep this bird, so he can teach visitors about owls and other predatory birds. Since owls are nighttime or nocturnal birds, people don't often see them during the day. At night, the pupils in their large eyes open wide, allowing more light to enter so they can see better in the darkness. Owls can locate mice running across the forest floor with their keen sense of hearing. Then, seeing it, they fly almost without a sound to catch the prey in their sharp talons. Back at the treetop nest, the young have grown so large that the adult no longer sits over them to keep them warm. It is only April, but the month-old young have more than doubled their size. Owls do not migrate south. They are usually permanent residents, like the chickadee that stops nearby to eat a seed. A downy woodpecker could be food for the owls if it isn't careful. New feathers are replacing and covering their white down coats, so the owls must spend more time caring for them. But for the most part, life is easy, eating, growing, and sleeping. Not so easy, though, for the parents. Both must hunt for the young. They even do some daytime hunting in the field around the woodlot. One little owl is trying to get a good look at something he's never seen before. Geese returning north. Perhaps he wonders about flying free of his nest. Even though spring is here, it will be some time before the two little owls are ready to leave their nest. They cannot feed themselves yet. Owls eat small prey whole, but tear larger animals into smaller pieces, especially for the young owlets. Owls often have certain trees that they use regularly to roost in during the day. To find owls, Sam searches under the trees for owl pellets. When an owl swallows its prey whole or in large pieces, it includes the fur or feathers and bones. An owl pellet is a compact wad of indigestible materials the owl brings up and spits out. Naturalists can figure out what the owl has been eating by studying the contents of the pellets. It looks as if this one has eaten several small animals. Even young owls cast pellets. By regurgitating this excess indigestible material, their digestion is faster and more efficient than many other birds that grind everything up and pass it through the body. This gives them the extra energy they need. The young owlets still have a lot of growing to do before they reach fledgling size. It will be fall before they can take care of themselves. Days pass. It takes about 8 weeks from hatching until they are ready to leave the nest. Even then, they will not be able to fly well. Great horned owls are one of the 3 largest owls. Fully grown, they can have a wingspread of nearly 5 feet. Except for the Arctic, they are common through most of North America, as well as Central and South America. That red squirrel could make a good meal, but the young are no threat to it yet. A nuthatch looks for food. Sam has brought Ron to see the nest.
There they are.
Ron studies birds and wants to band the 2 young owls. It won't be easy. A protective parent owl can be very dangerous.
We'll have to watch that adult.
Sam's going to use climbing hooks to get up the tree to lower the owlets in the pail. The helmet will protect his head if that owl decides to attack with her sharp talons.
Be careful, Sam.
This is going to be an event for the little owls. No doubt somewhat frightening, too.
Be careful, Sam. I'll keep an eye on that parent.
They snap their bills, trying to scare away their intruder. This is a dangerous job, one only experienced scientists should attempt. That's the second one. Sam is lucky he hasn't been attacked yet. Others have been seriously injured while studying owls.
Here they come. You got them, Ron?
Yeah.
Next, it's the job of banding the owls. They're getting big. Ron will have his hands full. Thinking it has escaped, the other owlet fluffs his feathers to appear bigger and more threatening. Meanwhile, Ron places an official U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service band on the owl's leg. It is large enough to let the leg grow without harming it, and it will stay there for the owl's lifetime. The band has a number and address on it. If the owl dies and someone finds it, they should return the band to the address along with information about where they found the owl. Even this young owl shows its fearless nature. Banding provides information about the owl's movements and age. Ron has banded many owls, hoping to learn about their habits.
You about ready down there?
Okay. Pull them up, Sam. Keep an eye on that owl. She really looks threatening. Watch it, Sam.
That's too close.
Come on down.
The young seem to have settled down now just fine with their new leg bands. The adult lost no time returning to check on the safety of her young. Their job done, the men quickly leave the woods to the owls again. In fact, with all that excitement, it's time to catch up on some lost sleep. It has been a week now since the owls were banded. The parent has brought some prey for the young, who keep needing more food as they grow larger. They are strong and agile enough now to tear up the rabbit and feed themselves. Wing feathers are growing out too. Blackbirds and other birds return from the south in large flocks. They are easy prey. It isn't long until blackbirds are among the food items of the young owls. Clouds are building. It's going to be a rainy spring night. With good water-shedding feathers, our owl family sits comfortably in the rain. In a nearby tree, a raccoon is climbing about, unaware of the owls. But he's been spotted. The little owl moves his head about for a sharper look, to get a sense of distance. Unlike other birds, an owl's eyes are close together on its face, giving it depth perception much like our own. The raccoon continues his explorations. A restless owl exercises to improve its balance and strengthen its wings. Hungry, they cry for food. But the hunt was not successful. Rain kept prey under cover. She'll hunt again later for her 7-week-old young. Spring is awakening, and somewhere a ruffed grouse drums to attract a mate. Grouse haven't even started to nest yet. The rain brings other spring signs. Violets bloom. Hillsides are covered with hepatica. They bloom early before the trees shade the forest floor. Soon these tender young leaves will be completely unfolded from the buds. The rose-breasted grosbeak has returned. And so has the scarlet tanager. It was one of these spring days that we found only one owl left on the nest. He sees his nestmate sitting smartly on a branch below. But to the remaining owl, it appears like a long ways down to the ground. There is no reason to stay in the nest any longer, and it sure would be nice to fly away. The wind sways the trees around, and he's not too sure of himself. But his sister made it last night. He should be able to do just as well. It is courage he needs for that first jump. Here goes. Oops. Well, he is flying, even though it's all downhill. This first landing may not be too graceful, but he is not hurt. He sure needs strength and practice to fly better. Now the question is, how to get up off the forest floor. If only he could get up on a branch like his sister. And it better be soon, because there's a red fox nearby hunting for mice and insects, or even a young owl, if he could find one. First, it would be a good idea to head for cover. Seems a little safer here. He just has to find some way up. But at this age, his wings aren't strong enough to lift him off the ground. This might be it. A fallen tree trunk just could be the answer. It leads right up among the branches to safety off the forest floor. Of course, the watchful protective parent is still nearby. This is good. That fox won't find him now. The adults continue to catch food for the young and for themselves. They will also stay close to the owlets and protect them from predators. The young practice and become stronger flyers, but they still lack skills to catch their own prey, so the adults bring food to them. Eventually, the owlets develop the keen skills necessary to catch mice for themselves. The family remains together through the summer as the two little owls grow, but their life in the nest is over.